Hello, everyone, as I sneak in from the front rather than the back. Had to re-enter at last minute. All the fun. All
Naturally.
right, Karen.
All right. Thank you and welcome everyone to the News and Update Show. We hope all the Americans have recovered from their Thanksgiving overeating and football watching. Our job today is to catch you up with all of the news that impacts AltSpace VR lives and community. And believe me, we have some fun news for you today.
Oh, yes. And Chag Sameach to all of our friends that are celebrating Hanukkah, the 8-day holiday that is about to begin, bringing together family and friends each night. Please do so. Safety to protect all of us. We want you here back at Outspace VR very soon.
We're in our fourth year of bringing you the news you need to know about AltSpace VR and our community. The news and updates is produced by our wonderful producer, Mark, the genius who started this show 4 years ago. Can you believe that? 4 years ago, with the desire to give back to the community that gave him so much more. He personifies the essence of our community.
Yes, indeed. Wow. We love it some Mark. Now, we do not work for AltSpace VR, but we are very passionate about our community, and we are here to help bring you the news from within and around our community to make it a better place. We bring it to you with love. Okay, too much laughter and a few tears and a lot of groans behind the scenes. Trust us, this job isn't easy.
Indeed, Laurel. We do it because we love it and we love our community. It's our time to keep giving back. So let's get this party started with some quick news from, I don't know how quick it'll be, but from some news from in and around the AltSpace VR community and beyond.
And it's beautiful to look out here. I know it's a holiday for most people in North America, but to see our loyal fans coming in, it's wonderful. Thank you for being here. All right, we begin with some
Absolutely.
sad. Yeah, we begin with some sad news. We would like to honor the life of Stephen Sondheim. For some of you, this may be the first time you're hearing his name. For most of us, you grieve with us. Even if you do not know his name, you know his work. Anyone familiar with the song? Send in the clowns. There ought to be clowns. Don't bother. They're here. Ah! Gives me creepy
Mm.
crawlies every time I do that song. Love it. At age 15, he wrote the first musical and caught the attention of the greats Oscar Hammerstein and Leonard Bernstein. He also wrote the lyrics for West Side Story, Gypsy. Then he did his full productions, including A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum, A Little Night Music, which Send in the Clowns is from, Company, loved Company, Follies, Sweeney Todd, the Barbara Rossville, and Sunday in the Park with George, and the world famous Into the Woods.
He won 9 Tony Awards, including a Lifetime Achievement Tony, an Oscar, 8 Grammys, a Pulitzer Prize, the Laurence Olivier Award, and 2015 Presidential Medal of Freedom. Some credit him with single-handedly revitalizing New York's Broadway and keeping it going with his innovative and highly personal style of musical storytelling.
He was a rule breaker, a boundary pusher, and his work will be played by actors of all ages long, long into the future. His songs still are performed right here in Alt Space with open mics and concert performances. And he died yesterday at the age of 91, and we will mourn the loss of this incomparable musical and stage genius.
While the airline industries are thrilled to report record breaking cross state and country travel over the past holiday weekend, if you haven't heard yet, a long expected new variant and mutations of COVID are on the rise as unvaccinated people mix and mingle and the virus thrives. The newly codenamed Omicron is coming out of South Africa. Only 24% of South Africa is fully vaccinated, with large numbers of people infected with COVID, making it one of the many places in the world, including in the US, feeding grounds for new variants.
And scientists expected. There were 2 mutations from the original that brought us Delta. Omicron has over 30 different mutations that will likely not work with current vaccines, making the potential for spread and death higher than in previous versions.
Our team has been tracking the news, and in the past 24 hours, cases have left South Africa, where they were initially diagnosed, and have spread to Hong Kong, Shanghai, Belgium, the Netherlands, and the UK. The United States, Canada, Australia, Brazil, the European Union, and others are blocking flights from 7 South African countries and restricting foreign travelers from other countries as more reports of Omicron infections rise. The trouble is that these are being caught at the border. Just like the first COVID infections around the world, it was here and people weren't being tested, and the infection was not caught soon enough.
Along with a spike in infections and hospitalizations, the New York governor has declared a COVID-19 disaster emergency to prepare hospitals and emergency services. The governor has said that the state is expecting transmission rates not seen April 2020. Now, this is not the new Omicron. This is just the regular Delta and everything else that's going around. The UK and Germany are reporting an increase in infections as winter moves in. Netherlands, Austria, and many other countries in the EU, and including Australia, are starting to go back under lockdown. Even before this announcement of the Omicron, due to their own quickly rising cases. South Korea's COVID deaths have hit record highs, and new restrictions will likely soon begin.
With news of this new variant, the Nikkei market, did I say that right, Laurel?
Nikkei. Mm-hmm.
Nikkei market dropped significantly, as did the S&P and NASDAQ. The New York Stock Exchange dropped by over 1,000 points yesterday, gaining little ground before close as nerves are rattled and fear of global restrictions and more complications in commerce is anticipated.
More than, I mean, when I think about this, it's stunning. More than 1.5 million people have died so far. 1.5 million just in the 53 countries that represent the EU. And the WHO, the World Health Organization, estimates that this number could increase by almost a million more,
Mm.
if not higher, by March, a number easily avoidable with vaccine compliance and boosters. But already areas in the United States, Canada, Mexico, and around the world are reporting this increase in cases, and an explosion is expected in the next couple of weeks due to families gathering for Thanksgiving, some of them for the first time in 2 years, and possibly Hanukkah.
In January this year, Scientific American released a fascinating graphic representing the number of deaths per week due to COVID compared to heart disease, cancer, and flu. With the vaccine, this number has dropped, but COVID continues to kill more people than the other common killers.
We bring this update to let you know that this will continue to impact all of us in AltSpace VR as individuals, as groups, and businesses. Jump on the social VR wagon or continue on bringing even more people here.
Laurel, you're breaking up just a little bit, so
Okay.
you might
All right,
want to re-enter in a bit.
Is it helping? Okay, you want to cover fur, and I'll be right back.
Sure. Okay. Combine this with the season surge increase from Black Friday and holiday shopping purchases that include new headsets, and we are likely to be welcoming many newcomers. For those new to AltSpace VR, starting a few days after Black Friday and Cyber Monday earlier this year, all the way through the holidays and into January, sometimes February, is the busiest time of the year for AltSpace VR. People flood in with their new headsets, desperate to learn how to use them and to connect with others. With the new lockdowns and fears of coronavirus, expect the surge in social VR to be even bigger. Community helpers, while there is no oversight currently, and we are expecting news on that soon, take it upon yourselves as your own responsibility as a community helper to be in the info zone, to welcome newcomers, and also at the campfire spawn point to welcome them there as well. Take people to popular events. Take them world hopping to worlds beyond just the ones that you make. Encourage them to attend the AltSpace VR 101 events in English and Spanish, and just welcome them into the community. As we discussed last week, this is part of the job requirements for community helpers, and we expect you all to fulfill that responsibility well.
And have fun when you do it. You get to meet all new people. It's wonderful. Okay,
It is.
now on to funner news. The Raindance Film Festival from London announced their winners in VR, including Avores Yuki, a roguelite shooter game that won Best Immersive Game. The Severance Theory, Welcome to Respite, won Best Narrative Experience Award as a live theatrical performance in VR chat with 2 actors. How cool.
That's very cool. Kasunda, a voice-driven interactive VR experience about the Kasunda language in Western Nepal, won for the best documentary experience. A VR chat world called Olympia won for the best immersive world. Congrats to all the winners, and check out their amazing work to continue to support creativity in VR.
In a Wired interview with Timoni West, head of the augmented reality and virtual reality at Unity, about a week ago, the reality of our experience in the metaverse was emphasized, along with some interesting information. First came news that the majority of AR and XR is made with Unity. We thought so, we just didn't know for sure. He sees VR and AR integrating into our lives as it has already done through shopping and social activities, especially in education.
Laurel, you're getting a little bit of feedback on your mic. Maybe you can
Okay.
adjust it or okay.
Thank
He
you.
said that, sure. He said that currently, when you need information, you surf the web to find the answers. Soon, you will surf the metaverse and journey to the answers and explore them with a new level of immersive information. He also mentioned that a metaphor for the metaverse, and I love this, is a big theme park, many experiences within a bigger experience.
I love that too. He
Mm.
mentioned that avatars are part of the metaverse experience and how much people will want to express themselves more and how they're going to do that in the metaverse. We posted a link to the article in our VR News channel for their news and updates Discord. And we recommend taking time this weekend to give it a read, as it is one of the most down to earth reality checks on what the metaverse will really be like that we found.
The last update to AltSpace VR was November 17th. It was a small patch to fix some serious bugs. We're hoping that the AltSpace VR team's update this next week, we said this last week too, will fix the world info bug. The world info bug is the inability to click info on worlds for more information and to spawn a portal to them. It works for events, but not worlds. There are always creative solutions around these temporary bugs. We hope this will be resolved in this week's update.
Hope, hope, we live
Hope.
in hope. Lots of hope.
Yes, yes, yes.
Continues to be issues with Microsoft logins for those on both AltSpace VR and Microsoft accounts, and for those wishing to link the two. Staff is aware. Currently, they recommend unlinking and relinking the account at a minimum. If this doesn't work, just stay with the AltSpace VR login for now, as there is a sign in glitch. It's looping in the sign ins.
Uninstalling and reinstalling AltSpace VR does not help. It wastes your time and it forces you to reset all your settings, so don't bother. Very soon, only the MSA Microsoft Service account will be our only login, and the technical problems between the two will be gone. If you have a functioning MSA account, avoid switching out. If you're having issues, please report through the support ticketing service at altvr.com/support or in world through settings, support, upload logs.
Now, Educators in VR and News and Updates is hosting the holiday storytelling event beginning in December. Get your holiday worlds together to volunteer for some great storytelling and consider sharing traditional original holiday stories yourself. The theme this year will be international traditional cultural stories, and we hope to hold them in their own native language as well. So, coming out as soon as I can get past this holiday, all the news is coming out on the Educators in VR website at educatorsinvr.com, as well as on the Discord and Facebook groups. So, look for that for more information and sign up to participate. We want to fill AltSpace with story this year.
Yes, 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 indeed. As usual, we bring you the news from around the AltSpace VR community every week and in between. The news you need to know to enjoy this beautiful metaverse that already exists. Join us on our News and Updates Discord for updates and related news that you can use to ensure that you keep updated on what's going on within our very own AltSpace VR meta galaxy within the larger and ever growing metaverse.
Theme park. Theme park. That's our new word, the metaverse theme park.
Yes, I love that so much.
That's such a great analogy.
It sure is.
I loved that. It was
Me
wonderful.
too.
Now on to our favorite world building. Black Friday and Cyber Monday are here. Yes, 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 yes. Many stores and online shops began their sales a couple weeks ago, likely continuing through next week. Now, I do know for sure that the Unity Asset Store, the sales are continuing through December 4th. So there's still time. But there's the Unity Asset Store, there's CG Traders, TurboSquid, and many other suppliers of fantastic Unity templates and assets. This is an exciting time to shop. Oh, we've been having so much fun. And add some fun stuff to your worlds in AltSpace VR.
And as a quick reminder, please read the terms of service and copyright licensing agreements with each purchase to ensure your use that the Unity assets are permitted. And please avoid sharing with others unless you can guarantee that the license allows for sharing. Consider learning to make your own kits and assets and sharing those, setting your own licensing policies for use, and spread the love.
I honestly, I can't wait to see your creativity. You create your own stuff and you share it. That's the best way to do it, man. I just love that.
It
The
is.
diagnostic panel, yeah, it really is. The diagnostic panel continues to have issues for world builders. The native diagnostic panel introduced in the past year that's accessible through settings, also not working. The diagnostic panel on the website and the world editor, it's working, but it's registering 0 frames per second, essential part of validating your worlds for public and event use. So we're hoping that that will all be fixed very soon. And we know these issues have been reported, and let's see what happens.
New options have been added to the World's Objects section on the ALTVR website, and you are now able to select the type of object you need to find. For example, if you're searching for a photo in your world, just click on Photos and it will show you. It works for MREs also. Just click on Apps and it will show you all the MREs you have for that world.
Can you keep going, please?
Sure. We love our world builders. Please remember that there are plenty of videos and tutorials available in the world building channels pinned to the top of the AltSpace VR Discord and in the world building tutorials channel, taking you step by step through the process of switching to Unity 2020.3.9 and higher and the new render tools. If you are new to world building or a longtime builder, check them out. And also check out the world building channels on the AltSpace VR official Discord. Many users are volunteering tutorial videos and articles to help support the community as well. Search first is the best approach when looking for an answer to your question, as it is likely that you aren't the first to ask. Check the pin messages for the different channels, as the good stuff will be there to help you on your way. How you doing
Now,
there,
don't
Laurel?
forget, yeah, let's see how this works. Don't
Okay,
forget
sounds
to
good.
check out the weekly SDK thank you meetups along with the world tours by Nancy Shaw, oh my goodness, Daisy Shaw, and the world tours team.
Daisy just got her
Ah,
name changed.
I know.
Daisy Nancy Shaw. We've christened her Daisy Nancy Shaw.
That would work. No, if y'all saw when we say this is hard work, if you would see what's happening right now is I am plugging and unplugging in 3 different monitors to try to get to this, and AltSpace is now buried behind many windows. So nobody do anything bad. I can't see you. Anyway, so trying to fix the
I'll
audio
keep an eye
issues.
on them, Laurel.
Oh my God. Thank you, mods. Anyway, the World Tour team, as we've mentioned, is now part of Educators in VR. And the tours are scheduled on Wednesday. November, December are mostly focused on holiday theme worlds and winter wonderlands to inspire holiday world building for the holidays, storytelling, and AltSpace community events, as well as just build some great holiday worlds.
During the transition to Educators in VR, the World Tours team will be joining the World Builders Team Project and expanding their events to include tutorial and world building training events and discussions and speakers on world building techniques and technology over the next few months. If you would like to be a part of the team, please let us know after the event and learn more at educatorsinvr.com.
It's time now for our Discord tip of the week. Seriously, we need some great sound effects. Discord is our back channel communications tool used by AltSpace VR events and groups all across the AltSpace VR community. So we enjoy that you enjoy these tips every week. So here's comes a new one.
Okay, you're going to love this one. If you've ever pasted or dragged an image into Discord, you're going to love this. So Discord continues to innovate and update, and this past week or so saw an improvement to posting images. Discord now offers image previews when posting an image. Simply copy and paste or click and drag the image into a post and add another and another and another. Then click enter to add all the images to the post. You have the option to delete the images individually before posting, helping you to fix mistakes before you publish. Do remember to hit enter to post the images as it feels like they're there, but not quite yet.
Yeah, I got
Awesome
caught a
tip.
few times. I came back like half an hour later, and the images
Where
were
are
still
my
sitting there because
images?
well, they look like they're there, and I had to hit enter. So don't
Exactly.
don't forget that. But it's really cool that you can actually see them line up. It's just fabulous. All right, we also wanted to catch up on some news that we brought you before about Valve, Steam, and Discord and their new policies toward NFTs and cryptocurrency scams. Valve and Steam announced a few weeks ago that they were banning all apps that supported NFTs and cryptocurrency stuff going on. Holding back on targeting blockchain discussions and meetups and things like that, but that is something that they're exploring that potential. Then Jason Citron, Discord of CEO, hinted earlier this year of a potential integration with a crypto wallet called MetaMask. And the tsunami of negative responses was stunning. And that caused him to push back and seriously reconsider.
Aronach, an artist and computer scientist with extensive experience and expertise in the area of NFTs, said, quote, I cannot stress enough that NFTs are a scam made by a group of the worst people in my field and should be viewed as a money laundering pyramid scheme burning the planet away, unquote. Those are hard words, but the statement now hosts over 24,000 likes and almost 8,000 retweets. But Laurel, I
Hmm.
don't entirely agree with that opinion. And,
Me
just
too.
recently, yeah, I've been reading them just very recently. I've been reading and watching everything related to NFTs. It's my new learning thing. I even signed up for an online class. So, I think, in my opinion, regarding NFTs, that it's the Wild West run amok. And it's set in right now in an unregulated, fast moving 21st century explosive technology. And I know there's a lot of scams going on right now, but we've got the NFL celebrities and the other big institutions investing in NFTs. And personally, I think right now it's a huge bubble, just like internet companies and stocks bubble of the early 2000s, right? And I think it'll pop
Mhm.
eventually. And so there'll be regulations and things will settle down, so to speak. But to me, it's the underlying technology that's so interesting. And I think that
Oh,
will
yeah,
endure.
absolutely.
And I think it'll,
And that's
so go
I
ahead.
hope so because it's what's again we're going to talk about all of this in a future episode. But the underlying technology is something that is really important to me because it ties into copyright protections and licensings
Mhm.
because of that
Mhm.
tracking ability. So that's a
I
part of it that
agree.
I'm really fascinated with. So don't worry, we'll be bringing this up more and more and more. But we wanted to just make you aware that currently Steam, Valve, and other VR stores that support the AltSpace VR app are not publicly warning that we know of AltSpace VR that events supporting NFTs and cryptocurrency put the platform at risk of removal. If you are someone who is hosting those events, you might want to put not make them featured or just be aware that we want to protect the platform from are doing something that may be overstepping the bounds. So just pay attention. We still have people that are violating copyrights by streaming in movies and things like that, but that's Altspace's problem to deal with. But just let's protect our community a little bit. And I'm sure that the staff in the legal department are reviewing all of these because they don't want to risk this as well. We will let you know if we hear anything. And if you hear it first, you let us know in our news and updates Discord.
Share your events and your worlds and your news with us. There is also we stream out to Twitch and YouTube weekly, and we love sharing your AltSpace VR news.
All right. There are so many events and so little time to cover them all. But we will do our best to focus on the highlights. Forget to attend the regular events, the meetups, the socials, the social groups, the open mics, the comedy clubs, and more that fill our world with such rich entertainment and social connections. Among all the universe rivals that are out there, one thing that AltSpace VR has more than the rest is a fairly united community. Come on, we is family, right? We's
Yep,
family.
that's right. Lasco 47 is here, and it's also in AltSpace VR this weekend. This science fiction conference in the real world and in AltSpace VR is Los Angeles's oldest running science fiction convention, I can't speak, and science fiction and fantasy club. Founded in 1934, it brings the best of the best to discuss all aspects of the genre, from writing to movies to technology, ethics, morals, and future thinking. Check out all the events here in AltSpace VR on the events calendar and enjoy this amazing exploration of imagination and reality.
Failed to Render features Kabir Singh from America's Got Talent live from AltSpace VR in just a few hours. Failed to Render is now expanded to 2 nights a week for its comedy club specials and continues to also stream through advanced technology into a club in Las Vegas, making this an even better comedy de force.
On Tuesday, Road to Oasis brings John Neverdy Jacobs, a virtual world's pioneer producer, director, and filmmaker. In 2005, he mortgaged his home to buy a virtual asteroid for 100,000 US dollars and converted it into a space resort called Club Neverdy, then sold it 5 years later for $635,000, making him the buyer and seller of one of the first most expensive virtual items. He will be discussing his history and vision of the metaverse, so check it out.
And then Simulation Nation continues with its exploration of the Matrix movies and those stories and why it did and did not yet live up to expectations. So check that out on Tuesday.
Gay men's speed dating is Wednesday, an opportunity to connect with other gay men in AltSpace VR.
You're
And
going to
who
say it
knows?
again, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you might get lucky. No,
Oh,
not lucky like that.
no.
Lucky as in you might find a love connection. You never know. There have been marriages, divorces, and great loves here in AltSpace VR.
Yeah, one of the first marriages in VR happened right here in AltSpace VR years ago. So love it. The
Wow.
trend continues. Now, looking ahead, again, the Educators in VR and XR Safety Institute are teaming up again this year to celebrate XR Safety Week and Safety Awareness, December 6th through the 10th. We're going to be exploring diversity and safety, human rights, and standards in XR. And this is really important. You know, how does this all work and how can we do this all safely together? Uh, on December 10th, they're working with the UN to declare XR Human Rights Day to promote awareness of for the respect and the security that we all need when it comes to metaverse. The multi-day event will be held in Engage in AltSpace VR, and we're going to have more details in the next week, including specifics on the December 10th Town Hall event, where you'll be able to meet world leaders and innovators in XR technology and the metaverse to share your story.
As mentioned, these are just a few highlights of the events this week. There's so many, we can barely keep up with them. Check out the channels to find the events to tickle your fancy and amuse your spirit.
And if you don't see anything that interests you, start your own event. Let us know by posting it in our news and updates Discord because we love sharing your events right here.
We do our best to bring you the highlights from this ever growing community, and we are so glad you are here to share it with us. Drum roll.
Love that.
Me too.
I'm such a cheap date. I am such a cheap date.
So, with the crush of newcomers and increased activity here in AltSpace VR from Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and the increased likelihood, unfortunately, of lockdowns and travel restrictions from the new and continuing old variants of COVID, let's talk.
Let's talk about how to welcome the newcomers. Last week, we discussed how to improve the campfire by firing up community helpers and others to greet people in the info zone and at the spawn point in the campfire and welcome them and introduce them to our community and helping to tone down the, let's just call it the nastiness that's found in the campfire. But what else can we do?
In the next 2 months or more, it's likely that thousands, possibly hundreds of thousands of new users will sign up and pour through these virtual doors. What can we do to make their experience a good one and ensure our community not just grows, but thrives?
Now, I have been thinking about this and we're eager. We want to hear what your opinion is. How can we make this better, and how can we connect with people and be more welcoming. And um, when the info zone first opened, I spent the first 6 weeks literally like living in the info zone. I was there for 8 to 10 hours a day, and not only training community helpers to help do this, but also to greet people and to understand, what do they want, what are they interested in. So if you take the people that get drunk and stoned and think it's a good idea to put on a VR headset, we're just going to push them over to the side because they just don't count. I'm sorry,
I
I don't want them to
second
count.
that.
We're not going to talk about those people, they're that dumb. But it was really fascinating to understand, what were they looking for? What were their expectations? What did they think this would be? And while people made a lot of judgment call on what alt space was by looking at the info zone, which is really, really sad, I still am, all these years later, I'm still very disappointed in the designer that they worked with to develop the info zone. I don't know if any of the rest of you are with me, but it looks like this is designed for children. It looks like it's a cartoon. It's a
Retro.
circus. But it was important to try to change people's attitudes when they walked in the door, to greet people with adult sounding voices, and be engaging and thoughtful, and say this is an adult social and events platform, and just talk to people. But boy, it was interesting to learn about why they were there. They were there to engage. They were there to meet people. They were there to connect with people outside of their tiny communities or their tiny perspective of their little tribal things. They wanted to engage and they wanted to enrich their life. So I'm eager to hear what you all think about this. Who do we have on the list, Karen?
We have Leslie. All right, Leslie, let me give you the megaphone. Okay, you're on megaphone. Accept and share your opinion with us.
Hi guys. I really just have an idea. I was thinking maybe you could update the info zone, because when I first came to Alt Space, I went to the info zone. I wasn't that impressed about it, so I thought if they updated it a little bit, it would make it better.
So
I
Leslie,
think it would.
yeah. I'm sorry, Laurel. I was just
Go
going to
ahead.
ask Leslie, what is there anything specific about it that you would like to see updated? What was what was the negative feeling you were getting?
Well, like Laurel said, it's more cartoonish. It's like you're trying to talk to kids, kind of.
You're talking
You
about the
know,
info
I
zone
mean,
now or the campfire?
Yeah, the info zone.
oh, the
zone?
info zone.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think it should be more interesting, more, I don't know, not interactive, but just a little bit more updated.
Okay.
Like, I don't know, I can't explain it.
I absolutely agree. I mean, people would hang out and they'd throw the ball. Now, the intention of throwing the balls was to work on eye-hand coordination and learning the tools to pick it up and throw it. But what happened is kids would come in there and they just sit there and they just throw the ball. And they take the ball away from people and it became an argument. It became a thing. It's like there's better ways of putting an interactivity up there that doesn't involve throwing a ball at a sticky dartboard. So I'm totally in favor. I've been in favor of that since the first second I saw it, and that, unfortunately, that
Well,
opinion's not changed. I'm with you.
my idea would be ideas in the person's head. Like, say, if I come in, I'm new to alt space, and kind of like say what alt space is like, kind of describe it. Like, say, it's a fun place to learn things, make friends, make lifelong friends that you've made for a long time. Because you're right, there's people in a headset, so we all have feelings, but just make it more interesting. Not a game or anything, just, I don't know, interesting.
As a community, right, Leslie? I think also that's what you
Yeah,
mean too.
because when I come to Alt Space, I look for my friends. Like, I look for Karen and Lance and Matthew and all my friends that I've met, even Laurel, even the ones I've met in Alt Space. And I think of you guys as my best friends, kind of. I mean, you know, if I have a problem, I'll go to Karen or somebody, you know, because I just like you guys, even though you're in a headset.
We like
Well,
you too, Leslie.
yeah, and it begs up the question: what would visually represent that? I put it out to all of you. Leslie's laid down the gauntlet. What would visually represent what AltSpace means to you? That's a great
Very
part of this
good
discussion.
question. Good question. Leslie, thank you very much. And Matthew, you're up next. So you have the megaphone.
Alrighty. Well, yeah, to continue on with what Leslie was saying, I mean, the info zone, especially with the URP update, there are so like people are talking about it being cartoonish and things. Well, especially with the URP update, there are so many possibilities now. When we build worlds, and we can make them much more visually appealing and much more realistic, and less cartoonish. So definitely, Microsoft needs to consider updating the info zone if they want to continue with the info zone, because it's kind of gone by the wayside, and I'm not even sure if Microsoft is really like really worrying about the info
Well,
zone at this point.
It was created because of a demand from community helpers.
Okay.
We didn't ask for a circus. That was the part that they brought us.
Right. Well, and yeah, well, like I said, with the URP update, there's so many possibilities, and we
Yeah.
can just, hey, I say, AltSpace needs to hire Lance, and Lance will design a really cool space.
There we go.
Good job. Excellent.
Okay, so let's see. Thank you very much, Stands with Trees. Now, Leslie, you're back up again, so you have the megaphone. Okay, let me disable it and re-enable it. Okay, try again.
Okay. Is it good?
Okay, there we go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
I was thinking maybe, you know how when you go into a place and you kind of have a TV that's explaining things to you? You know what I mean? And like showing what people do in AltSpace, like Sharky, the shark game that I enjoy, or the world hopping, to make it more interesting and more inviting.
Good
Because
idea.
the way it is now, I get bored at looking at it. I just don't want to look at it anymore because it's just, I don't know, I can't explain it.
It's text-based, so
So-
you're looking for maybe video-based.
Yeah, kind of like saying, well, this is what we do in AltSpace. We have 101, we have news and updates. If you need help, come see us at 101. We can help you navigate through AltSpace. Or news and
Excellent.
updates will keep you up on the things that are coming on today or tomorrow or whenever. Stuff like that. And yes, Lance should be in charge. Oh my god, please, yes.
Oh, we'll
need
let him
Lance.
know.
We need Lance. And Spider Girl's good at that too. She's really
Yes,
good
she
at,
is.
at coming up with stuff. And
She
I think
is.
her and
Indeed.
Lance working together, that
Yeah.
would be amazing.
We
It
have
would be an
so
amazing
many
world.
creative people. We really do. We have phenomenally
Yeah.
creative people here.
Like
And-
Darren and
Oh yeah.
like all
And
of them.
so we need some.
Kurt.
Yeah, agree.
Okay, thank you, Leslie. Good comments, good ideas. And now we have Blund Nose. So Blund Nose, you have the megaphone. Okay, you should have a consent. Just click OK. Let me try it again.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Okay, you got it.
What must I supposed to be telling you?
Oh, okay. So do you have ideas on how we could welcome new users here in AltSpace?
I don't know. I really know.
Okay. Are
Okay.
you new, Blund Nose, here? Are you
Yeah.
fairly new?
I'm a new one.
Okay. And how were you welcomed here? Did you feel like you got a nice welcome or not?
Yeah, I feel, it was a great welcome.
Good. Okay, that's what we want to see happen here. Okay, well, thank you,
Welcome.
Blunt Nose, and welcome to Alt
Yeah.
Space.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, anybody else?
Well, I've
Last
been thinking,
call.
yeah, last
here we
call. I've been
go.
thinking about Leslie's, thing while we're waiting for people to hit the raise hand button. Is that number one? I'd like to see a more adult space, but I have to say that the Discovery Zone is a more of an adult looking space. And maybe instead of them creating a new one to replace it, just make the Discovery Zone replace it and put some little video segments. So you say, here's how to learn how to do this. Here's how to learn how to do that, all within that same space. I think, that's something that's already in place and it might be
Good
really interesting.
idea. Yes, and it's the first thing they're going to see when they open up their menu. Good idea, Lavelle.
It's simple. It's already done. We don't have to stress anybody. But again, we don't work for Alt Space. We're just giving ideas here. All right. Do we have a few more?
Okay, we sure do. I want to hear what my friend Darren has to say. And I didn't prompt you, Darren. Okay, you have the megaphone, Darren.
Okay, I
Darren?
guess that means I'm online. Am I online?
You are. We
Okay.
can hear you loud and
I
clear.
just want to say I just finished a response back from Anthony Unity, who was where I was just in another event earlier, and I helped him out with his menu, and then I took him to my hub world because he had to go cook some dinner and invite some friends over. And before that, I brought him over there. He just sent me a message, said he really enjoyed my all the worlds, all the stuff I put together to put in there. But that's beside the point. What I was going to do, I would suggest, is the main thing when someone comes into Alt Space, is they want to know how to use the main menu system. And I know that's covered in the one-on-one meeting, but let's say the one-on-one meeting's 2 days away or a day away, but they want to go in there right now and learn how to use it. They want to know different
Mhm.
ways of using it. So I would suggest putting some sort of, which probably won't happen, but diagram or something everybody can go to step 1 through whatever, and picture diagrams so they can understand, oh, I normally go back to this picture and see how you do this. And they can just simply look at the picture and understand how to do that. It's a debate. The very basics is what has to be explained. And I think that's a good
Mhm.
idea to do that to people, to give people a good idea that we're trying to help you, as opposed to just, here you go, figure out how to get around here. And you don't know what to
Agree.
go. You don't know that there's
Absolutely
worlds
agree.
out there. You don't know if you go into the menu and turn on 2 things. I had to do that with Anthony Unity today. I was he's simply trying to move his menu up and he couldn't, and we're like, well, we could do it. It's an option in ours. I don't know why you. So I had to go through step by step to tell him. And I think participate in an early access program, you had to do that. And then you got the menu option to move his menu above and below and so on. Things like that that people don't even know should be simply put in there. Another thing is when you see how to do events, which is mainly what this is trying to push, Altspace is trying to push, is also possibly show that there's more than just building events. You can also build worlds in here using the world editor and share them with other people and say, share with other people. They can visit you. People will go, oh, I can make my worlds, and people can come in and see what I built. That's another thing that's not really expressed anywhere in here when you walk in here, besides events as well. Uh, and also, like Leslie was telling us, go different places and experience different worlds, world hopping, going to parties. There's a lot of things you could do here if you know the people and if you know where to go and experience. So
Yeah.
if they don't know that, they just like it's a place you just started and they don't know what to do and they're pretty much clueless. So
I was reminded today of something. There's a fine balance between the moment somebody walks in and letting them discover what this is about and how it works, and then blasting them with information. And my husband was talking about, we were visiting a country and we went in, we did in 2 days, we visited like 60 spots and places. It was
Wow.
overwhelming. Spent the night up in the north part of the country and came on back. And in the hour or two that we were heading back into town, back to where our hotels were and stuff, the tour guide reviewed everything that we had just experienced. And it was so overwhelming that we just gave up listening and just kind of rolled our eyes and tried to go to sleep. But we have to be in teaching, it's called front loading. We have to be very careful about overwhelming new people that come in, but finding that way, like you mentioned, having the pictures there so they can go through a place they can come back to revisit. That's what the info zone was supposed to be, and that people can learn at their own pace. And I think that's really important, to find that thing. And when they need trouble, they need a place to go so they can get those answers. So
I agree.
I love that. That's beautiful. Thank
Mhm.
you.
That is. Thank you, Darren. Okay, so
Sure.
Charlie Zero, you've been waiting a long time. So let me give you megaphone here. Okay, Charlie Zero, you're up.
Hi, hear me?
Mhm.
Yes, we can.
Good. Yeah, I'm just thinking similar to what Dan was saying. Would it be feasible to have a portal or a couple of portals in the info zone to send people to the earlier tutorial worlds where it just gives them the basics on controls,
Mm.
meeting people,
Yeah,
that sort of thing?
we're working with Altspace to have that happen. It's just really slow.
So I
Yeah.
still go
Great
back to them now,
idea.
even.
Hmm?
Still go back to them now. Help me out.
That's a good idea,
Okay.
Charlie Zero.
Really good
So,
idea. Yeah, it's there needs to be somewhere other than dumping people in the campfire. There's no doubt.
Yes, I agree. Okay, next up
Excellent.
is Izzy. Izzy, you have the megaphone.
I think I got it. Yeah, I got it. Do I have it?
You do.
Okay.
Got it.
Awesome. This is actually a tough sell that I'm going to suggest. One of the things I really love, and I love seeing in the last about 6 months on Altspace, is the fact that we are getting more a global audience. I'm seeing a lot more worlds popping up, people whose main language is Spanish. I've seen Arabic, Italian, and I think that's fantastic. But I don't think I think living in the United States, we kind of sometimes get all caught up that everything is in English. A lot of new people
Mhm.
coming in, we don't have any instructions in Spanish. We have no instructions in French. We have no instructions in some of the other major languages that are spoken around the world and some of our users. And that might be very helpful to kind of include a panel in Spanish and how you use the main menu, or in French. It's a thought, because I've sat there and tried.
That's a great thought,
Sorry.
Izzy. You're absolutely correct, 100% correct. And I think through it, we have, I don't know if you've met Gabriela, but Gabriela is head of the Spanish team for educators in VR. And I think that, different things are going to start to be rolled out in the next year, right, Laurel?
That what? Sorry.
No, I was just commenting on Izzy's comment that there needs to be more languages represented here in Altspace. And I was just saying that Gabriela is going to be playing a big part in that, I think, after New Year's in early 2023. That whole thing's going to start to be developed out here in Altspace, at least for Spanish anyway. And also,
Right, and
Izzy.
Go ahead.
Laurel. I'm sorry. No, I was going to say.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead now.
No, you go ahead.
Okay,
How much
I
we
will
love
go
each other.
ahead then. I was just going to say I want to welcome my new friend Mao over there in blue with the red trim. Mao is from Mexico, and he was here for the Thursday night 101 in Spanish. Mao he's really into technology. I had to look it up, Mao. He's a Scrum trainer, and I forget what the other thing was.
Love Scrum. Love Scrum. Scrum and Agile.
He's super nice and he's very interested in alt space technology. So I just want to welcome my
bienvenidos.
friend Mao.
Yay, Mao. Thank you. Wonderful. We want some Scrum and Agile training with educators in VR. So it's been on my desire list. I love it. Come talk to us. All right, I wanted to thank you very much for your comments. You're absolutely right with this. Lance, so we have one last one came in from our buddy Lance, since we've been talking about him nonstop. He's watching on YouTube right now.
Yay,
And
Lance!
yay, Lance, because he is doing another event at the same time. He's multitasking. He says
As
that
usual.
the best thing would be to have community helpers help in the info zone. Okay, so give them that. Please go out and do that, and then show them what Altspace is good for. And he agrees with changing it to something more adult-like that doesn't look like a circus. But he doesn't know exactly what yet. But the campfire needs to be like off bounds. And I think this is beautiful. Just go anywhere else instead of the toxic campfire. Like put a deadline. You have to be in Altspace 4 times before you get to the you can go to the campfire.
I love that. That's
something like
great.
that. I think that's wonderful.
I love that.
Yeah, and he liked the idea of making the info zone into more of an event space, and he loved the idea of the videos and things like that. So, Mark says that he helped to create what we call, kindly, not so kindly, the infant zone with JW, and they created this amazing camp. It was lovely. I was brought in to help advise on it, and it was a kind of a camp, had the campfire feel, so it was falling off the campfire with tents. You went in the tent, there'd be all this instructional information and whatnot, and they were asked by staff to do this, and then what they created that looks like now is nothing to do with what the community suggested. And just one of my little pain points in all of that. So we have to they hired somebody, they went with what they hired, they already had the idea for the avatars, and it was our avatars that followed through with that weird kind of design, which we have circus avatars in some respects. They've toned down a lot, but we have circus avatars. Anyway, thank you everyone for your input. Keep this conversation going.
Person, Mal.
Well, we're running out of time. So can they do it quick?
Sure. Okay, Mal, you're up.
All right, Mal.
Hey, hello.
Mal.
Hello.
Do you hear me?
Yes, we do.
Perfect. Thank you for the introduction. I'm glad to be here with you. So yes, as you described, I'm actually working as a Scrum Master in Accenture. So I hope that I could help you in needing to be here in our space. So you can count on me.
Wonderful.
Thank you,
See,
Mal.
That's community. That's what
Yes.
Altspace is. I cannot tell you how many times I've just said, don't do. I just want to talk about this. And like the next day, Mark or Lance or the rest of the team hands me a done thing. I said, wait a minute. I said, talk, not do. No doing. Just talking. And they did it. And it's perfect. It's always amazing. We adjust it and we go on. And so that doing mentality is a part of, and I love that. Thank you. Because we're just going to get this sucker done. It's a beautiful thing. So thank you. And I want to thank everyone for your input. Because together we make Altspace better. And when I go out onto other platforms, I am staggered at how far behind they are compared to Altspace, our little cartoon world we have here. So while there may be, it's cartoony mostly because it still caters to the most inexpensive of the headsets, which is cool because that allows for a more democratic audience compared to other platforms that say, well, you can't come in unless you spend $1,000 on a headset. I have a problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they are so far behind the event production and some of the world building stuff that Altspace has. So we may judge this Altspace and think it's not good enough in many respects, but you know what? They do listen, and community provided the input that makes it what it is today. So thank you for being a part of that. Okay, we're going to talk more about all of this later on, including the NFTs and everything else, but that is all for this week's news and updates. Thank you so much for joining us here every week and celebrating. We're getting our 4th year doing the news and updates for you here in AltSpace VR.
When news you need to know happens, we share it in our News and Updates Discord, so you get the news through the clutter of information. Please tell a friend and share our Discord and YouTube channels so others can keep up with the news in and around AltSpace.
I don't know why. I think we're demented. We do all of this for you for free. We are not AltSpace VR employees. In fact, I don't think you could ever pay us enough for what we do. Our team works hard every week to gather the news and information to help our community keep up with everything going on here in AltSpace VR.
Thank you for being here every week. And some of you, most of you out there, we see every single week. Thanks for your loyalty and being here. It is beautiful. We live stream the news onto YouTube every week, and you can catch up with past episodes and more about AltSpace VR events, projects, news, and community activities. This is a labor of love, and we love our volunteers who help us put this together every week.
Indeed. If you'd like to join the News and Updates team, please do. Let us know after the show. We need every ability and talent, and we will help you train you. Some of the event hosts that are out there today doing the great things started here. We'll train you in event hosting and moderation and training, everything you need to know. We're looking for more moderators and filmers as well as reporters. We're looking for everybody. If you love attending events in AltSpace VR, please consider joining at the least our reports team to photograph the events and let us know your thoughts about the events. Ends up in our script and under our slides. This is your show as much as ours, and we would love to have you be a part of it.
And thanks to all of our News and Updates volunteers and moderators who help make this event such a success every week. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So with these uncertain times, especially now, please be safe wherever you are in the world.
Thank you, Karen. Thanks, Mark.